8:08 a.m. I just walked out here and happened to see a no-see-um, but it's going to remain that way as no-see-um. But we do have just as I've walked down, there's stuff that is appearing. Well, I'm headed out to feed the cats now. I'll go ahead and continue on here shortly. Alright, well, I guess we can go ahead and show this goober here, providing that. There we go. Once again, I will show just that much more. And I also have something kind of interesting and unique to share. Well, before I even get to the feeding grounds this morning, let's go ahead and look at this. And, well, see remains of frost on the ground from our temperature drop this morning. Yet we are to get up to 60 degrees Fahrenheit today. Nice little warming trend. For a moment before we end up getting accumulations of snow beginning this next week. Smoking. Look at this. Guess that's a different style of creating clouds, huh? So anyways, down in the description below, you will find a link to a video short through that, well, I'm just going to say the gang stalking channel. And unfortunately, comments are blocked, which greatly saddened me because of what is brought about pertaining to numbers within this video, as while he is pulled over alongside, he has had to pull over alongside the road for an emergency situation due to a flat tire, and he brings up the numbers 27 and 33, okay? 27 and 33. Two numbers that I speak of often. And I'm just going to say I gotta love it. Alright? But anyways, I've got quite a few things on my to-do list today. And so I have to get around to try to accomplish as much as possible before this onset of winter that begins next week. I don't know if I caught this little guy back here now, but once again, we basically a no-see-um with no trail. Alright, holy Moses. Now that's ground level cloud. And most of that is just because it is so bloody cold out here this morning. even though reports have stated that it's only like 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Um, and what is really hilarious is the factor that we have had a little bit of rework done to our drive and parking lot, which was in some of my past recordings, and this is what they did, okay? And of course I showed. Well, I talk about how, you know, a lot of this beautification being done around here, including this new sign, which is very generic in appearance. You know, I claim that it's for tax credit purposes, but beyond that, it is also for insurance rates. But currently, we now have a parking lot striping crew that is here to restripe the lines in the parking lot. And here we're supposed to be having accumulations of snow next week. So, you know, when we get this, there's no typically snow on the ground, ice on the pavement. Visibility of said stripes is highly diminished. And not only that, of course, we get the snow plows that come through. And to me, it is like a waste of time, effort, energy, and money. But, you know, I'm not in charge of this nonsense and foolishness that kicks off around here, which actually has no value for us residents, okay? It's all financialism in reality. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this because, well, right there we can see the coloration of the anomaly. So, you know, quite a few topics and sites already in this single recording. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that because, as stated, I have a to-do list. Yesterday was very busy. I don't want to say low on sleep, but during the phase of the full moon, I rarely get satisfying sleep. But then sleep has never come easy for me. But as these are moving over, expanding and all that, blah, 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 I'm not sure what we're to expect. Because I started watching a little bit of the news this morning, and it's like, you know what, this is just, all they're talking about is nonsense, and well, the only worthwhile topic or headline news that interested me was good old Dick passing away, and I am referencing Dick Cheney, the warmonger, the guy that enjoyed what do I want to say? Intelligence tactics, such as waterboarding and all that. No, good riddance. That's all I can say. You know, they can go ahead and praise him as much as they want, but I have never had anything good to say about that guy. Once again, good riddance. And good riddance to this recording as is now coming to an end. Long enough. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have yourselves a great one.